Fan up. Fan up. Program sheet.
That lamp is ready. सर्वेभ्यो गुरुभ्यो नमः। कर्पूरनीराजनं सन्दर्शयामि।
I request you all to take your seats. Namaskara to all. We welcome you to the valedictory function. We start our program with a prayer. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvighnan Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Ya Kundendu Tusharahara Dhavala या शुभ्रवस्त्रान्विता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्करप्रभृतिभिः देवैः सदा पूजिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेषजाड्यापहा। ॐ गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। This occasion marks completion of 27-month course which started in 2020, 14th January. In this course there are 26 students. For us, the students of the course, this is an occasion to express our gratitude and receive the blessings from the teachers. It is my pleasure and privilege to welcome all the dignitaries of this occasion. First of all, we are very happy to welcome Swami Sakshat Kritanandaji, the Chief Acharya of Ashra Vidya Peetham, Dayananda Ashram, Rishikesh, Swami Sadatmananda ji, Swami Jagadatmananda ji, Swamini Sharadananda ji, Swamini Vedarthananda ji, Shri S.N. Ramachandran ji, and Chairman Shri Shantaram ji. I welcome all Swamijis, Swaminijis, devotees, well-wishers, management staff members and students. Now I request Swami Sadatmananda ji, the Chief Acharya, to honor the chief guest of the function, Swami Sakshat Kritananda ji. Now I request Shri Shantaram ji, the chairman of Shruti Seva Trust, to honor Swami Sadatmananda ji. Now I request Swami Jagadatmananda ji to honor the chairman Shri Shantaram ji. Now I request the chairman Shri Shantaram ji to address the gathering.
My pranams to the chief guest Swami Sakshat ji, Acharya Swami Sadatmananda ji, other Swamijis and Swaminis and friends. It is a pleasure to be here this morning in this important function. Pujya Sri Swamiji, before he left for the US, he told me that Swami Sadatmananda ji would be the chief Acharya and that he would be conducting the Vedanta courses in the Gurukulam, and that Swami Sankarananda ji will also be teaching at the Gurukulam as per Pujya Swamiji's wish and instruction. The board of trustees of Shruti Seva Trust were very happy to welcome Swami Sadatmananda ji as the chief Acharya of this Gurukulam, and we are glad that everything is moving as per the instructions of Pujya Swamiji. 2 long-term courses in Vedanta have been completed successfully, and we are now at the conclusion of the second. Thank you, Swamiji, for conducting the classes, and I know that the students have enjoyed and greatly benefited from the classes and also from the Sanskrit and the chanting classes that we are going on parallelly. We also acknowledge the staff of various departments during COVID times were hard and trying times, and our appreciation goes out to all the staff and all the volunteers who have helped out during the difficult times. The Board of Trustees of Shruti Seva Trust thank Acharyas ji and each and every one of the smooth functioning of the Gurukulam. Thank you.
Now there is an occasion for the students to express their gratitude by offering garlands and shawls to the teachers. I request Rodrigo ji to come and honor Swami Jagadatmananda ji. Now I request Uday Bhanuji to come and honor Swamini Vedarthananda ji. Now I request Mariana ji to come and honor Swamini Sharadananda ji. Now I request Nikhilesh ji to come and honor Shri S.N. Ramachandran ji. Now the students have opportunity to share their experience and read out the syllabus of Vedanta and Sanskrit and chanting they have studied. I request every student to keep their speech limited to 4 minutes so that we can complete our program on time. I request Shivji to come and share his experience and read Sanskrit level 1 syllabus.
Namaste, Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. So I'm representing Swami Jagadatmananda ji and Ramachandran Sir's class, which is Sanskrit level 1A. In our class we covered 45 shabdas, followed by the 10 ganas, the lakaras and their suffixes, lat, lang, lot, vidiling, etc. Tingantam suffixes, sarvadatuka, sandhi, ach sandhi, hal sandhi, visarga sandhi, 1, 4, 6, 10 conjugations plus their dhatus, kridanta, kartari prayoga, and karmani prayoga, and how to go back and forth. We also did comparative and superlative degrees, subanta suffixes plus the sutra for pulinga and napumsakalinga. From the book series Vyavahara Pradipa, we covered many lessons, including which all the vibhaktis were covered. Kartari, karmani, visheshanam, visheshya. We also learned how to tell the time in Sanskritam. And avyaya, followed by sankhya and sankhyaya shabda, up to 100. We were also able to go into Gita Sopanam. We did various lessons there. And Gita Pravesha, where we did grammatical analysis of the Bhagavad Gita, full chapter 1 and chapter 2 up to shloka 30. we covered full infant reader, Antoine 1 full, and Antoine 2 up to lesson 19. We also did Junarka, Introduction to Panini, up to chapter 17, Sthana chart, Upasargas and their meaning, Pratyaya, Sutrani, and in Sutrani, Sanya and Sandhi, as well as 1, 4, 6, 10 Kana related Subanta, Kana related and Subanta. And with Ramachandran sir, we extensively worked on Medamichika's book, Panchavritaya. So that was basically our Sanskritam syllabus. And now I'm just going to speak briefly about my experience here at the Gurukulam. I left my book. Sorry, one second. Sorry about that. So after the first year, I remember meeting with Acharyaji, and I told him that before I had arrived to Vedanta, I didn't know where I was going with my life. More so, I didn't know how to get where I thought I wanted to go. And after arriving here, I feel like the one thing that we've been given was a roadmap. So we might not be where we want to be, but we at least know where we're headed. And we're somewhere along that map. And for me, that has changed my life, because now the fear that I used to carry inside of my heart about where I'm going, who I'm trying to become, and my placement in the world, it's been filled with guidance from Sampradaya. So I don't feel alone anymore in my pursuit. Now it's hard to believe we've been here for almost 3 years. It's been such a journey. And I look around and I see all of the students, and I see that everyone's changed so much. We've all grown. And this wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for our Acharyaji. Since the 108-day course, he's been giving everything he has, pouring himself into us. Everything that he knows, he's been giving to us. Even when we didn't have energy, Swamiji had energy to come to class, and still he taught us. Swamiji has done everything he could to fill us with the vision and remind us of our already attained fullness. Sometimes taking 5 plus classes a day, and there's not much I could really say to Swamiji other than thank you, because anything I could give Swamiji will fall very short for what he has given us. I forgot to mention Puja Swamiji at the beginning of my talk. I want to say namaskara to Puja Swamiji, to our guest Swami Sakshat Kritanandaji, Swami Jagaratvanandaji, our 2 Swaminiyamas, Swami Vishwatvanandaji, who is not here, Sharanji and Ramachandran Sirji. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be able to live the vision and own up the vision in our lives. So thank you, all of you. Yes, thank you to Sampradaya and the tradition of teachers. And how blessed are we to end up with the Sampradaya of Puja Swamiji. Out of everywhere we could have ended up, we ended up with Dayanandaji's Sampradaya. And to my course students, we made it. We've got to the end of the course. No one died, nothing bad happened, no one got corona, and I think that's a great thing. We've become like family over the years, like brothers and sisters to each other, sharing a lot of beautiful moments together. And also some moments of fighting, but if there wasn't fighting, then we wouldn't be like siblings, I think. So without your satsanga and being around many of you, I don't think I would have grown as much as I did. So I thank all of my students, my core students, for everything. And yes, I pray that, thank you to all of the staff, the maintenance staff, the kitchen staff, office staff, security, watchmen, groundskeeper, everything. We wouldn't be able to study peacefully if it wasn't for all of you and all of your contributions. And I forgot to mention Mom and Dad. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for allowing me to be here studying, taking care of everything. And I think the only thing I could say to close is I pray, may we live this tradition. May we abide in the vision as our expression of gratitude to Acharyaji and to the Sampradaya. Thank you. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.
Now I request MEG to come and share her experience and read Sanskrit level 2 syllabus. Now I request MEG.
Om. Can I start? Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Pranams to the lotus feet of Pujya Swamiji. Pranams to Swami Sakshat Kritanandaji who came to bless our valedictory function. Pranams to our Acharyaji Swami Sadatmanandaji. Pranams to all our teachers. Thank you for the given opportunity to talk in front of you. First, I will present the report of the syllabus covered in Sanskrit classes of level 1B. I represent the students who attended the classes of Brahmachari Sharanji. He is a very dedicated, talented teacher and a devoted disciple of Pujya Swamiji. On behalf of all the students in our group, I express our pranams to him. To keep it short, we managed to complete Infant Reader, Antoine, Volume 1 and 2. He showed us the right approach to understand Panini Sutras. We have covered more than 350 sutras related to Santi rules, derivation of Subantas and Datus, Lakara Pratyas for Kartari, Karmani and Bhava Prayoga, Nijanta, Kridanta, San Pratyas, Agamas and many Sanya and Pratipasha sutras. Thus, he tries his best to provide us with a strong base of the language on which we can improve further in our studies. And now for the remaining minute and a half, I will express some personal thoughts. Foremostly, I would like to express my gratitude to Pujya Swamiji. Because of him, we all are able to gather here as disciples, as teachers, as students from different parts of the world, as devotees. I have never met him in person. I'm impressed by him mainly from the weekly video satsangs with him. He is the proof to us for what is said in Shastra, that the wise person attains immortality. Also, the love and devotion of all his disciples for him speak a lot about his greatness. On different occasions, our Acharyaji was telling us that we are blessed to be connected with this parampara. And yes, I can say I do feel blessed for receiving the Vedic wisdom through this tradition. In alignment with the teachings of the parampara, Acharyaji served his best to us as promised in the beginning of the course. In short, with utmost respect to Mother Shruti, using simple, clear language with lots of examples, patiently he revealed our true nature, limitless Brahman. He made us see we are free while we are talking about freedom. Also, he emphasized a lot on developing values, on not maintaining double standards in life, on honestly to see for ourselves what prevents us of accepting being Brahman, on the importance that received vision of Vedanta should reflect in our lives. I must admit these 2 years and a half were not a rosy period, rather a challenging one on different levels. I'm sure not only for me, but for everyone. Nevertheless, my eyes were open for the truth of who am I, and I'm able to say to myself from my heart, yes, I am Brahman, And for all this, I cannot pay back through any means. Last but not the least, with gratitude to Ishvara, we all survive this day today when we mark the completion of a course, but not an end of our moksha pursuit by Jnanam. Thank you. Namaskaram.
Now I request Sai Krishna ji to come and share his experience and read Sanskrit level 3 syllabus.
ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंशर्षिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः शंकरमूर्तिमस्माकं भवरोगचिकित्सकं सदा ब्रह्मणि रमन्तं सदात्मानन्दमहं भजे। आदौ यत्सहायेन मुमुक्षूणां ब्रह्मात्मैक्य ज्ञानं प्रतिपाद्यते तस्यै एतस्यै सनातनधर्मगुरुपरम्परायै मम कृतज्ञतापूर्वक शतकोटिनमस्कारान् भक्त्या अर्पयामि। पूज्य श्री दयानंद स्वामिने तु नमो नमोस्तु। तस्य अनुग्रहेण एव इदमाश्रमस्थापनादि सम्यक् कृतं, यत्र भूत्वा इदानीं संसारपारद्रष्टारः भूताः वयम् असंशयेन। अस्मिन् गुरुकुले संस्कृत अध्ययनद्वारा सूक्ष्मबुद्धिसामर्थ्याभिवृद्धिः, प्रतिदिन वेदमन्त्रपठनादिद्वारा ईश्वरानुग्रहप्राप्तिश्च क्रियते। अन्यसौकर्यादि अपि सम्यक् प्रदीयते। अथ विशेषतया दुर्लभस्य अखण्डात्मज्ञानस्य प्रदातारम् अस्मदाचार्यं सदात्मानन्दस्वामिनं शिरसा नमामि। स एव माम् एतस्मात् मिथ्यासंसारसागरात् तारयित्वा दर्शयितवान् मम विभूतिम् अखण्डस्वरूपम्। न तु तदेव, यदा कदा सन्दर्भः भवति तदा स्वामी स्वयमेव मां मातृपित्रादिवत् संस्करोति। एतद् बृहद्भाग्यं मे किल। तदुपरि यदा अत्र आगतोऽस्मि अहमस्मि साई कृष्णः इत्येव चिन्तयन् आसम्, किन्तु अधुना वेदवेदान्तवेद्यः आनन्दस्वरूपः मां विना किमपि साई कृष्णः अपि सुतरां न भवितुं शक्नोति इत्येव मम मतम्। एतत् सर्वं श्रीगुरोः अपार कृपयायाः एव प्राप्तम्। अहं पुनरपि दयाहृदयानां तत्त्वदर्शिनां सर्वेषां मम भक्तिपूर्वकनमस्कारान् समर्प्य मत्सहपाठिनां मोक्षपराणां साधकानां मम हृदयपूर्वकाभिनन्दनानि वन्दनानि च उक्त्वा, भवतु सदा अस्मच्चिन्ता गुरूपदेशे, भवतु सदा गुरुकृपा सततमस्मासु, गुरुशास्त्रदेवेषु अस्मत्श्रद्धाभक्तिश्च सम्प्रवर्धताम् इति तमेतं भगवन्तं परमेश्वरं प्रार्थयामि। ओम स्वस्ति। Now I will be mentioning the topics which are covered in the Sanskritam level 3 by Swami Vishwatmananda ji. Through Panini Sutras, Tinganta Prakaranam, Sandhi Prakaranam, Kridanta Prakaranam, Samasa Prakaranam were studied, and Antoine Part 1, Part 2 also were studied in the Sanskritam level 3. I thank to all my Sanskritam teachers once again. Om.
Now I request Keikoji to come and share her experience and also read Vedanta syllabus.
My pramanam to all the teachers in Guru Parampara. With the grace of Ishvara and Gurus, we have completed the following Vedanta Granthas. So for Aprasthana Trayam, we have studied Mundakopanishad, Kathopanishad, Kenopanishad, Mandukyopanishad with Bhashyam, Srimad Bhagavad Gita with Bhashyam, Brahma Sutram, Chasusutri with Bhashyam. And as Muram, Taittiriya Upanishad, Kaivalya Upanishad, Ishavasya Upanishad, Chandogya Upanishad, 6th chapter. And as Saram, we have seen Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Prashna Upanishad, Aitareya Upanishad, and and also in Prakarana Grantha, we have seen Sadhana Panchakam, Atma Bodha, Viveka Chudamani, Drusya Viveka, Vedanta Panchadashi, Dakshina Murti Stotram, Pratasmarana Stotram, Bhaja Govindam, Upadesha Saram. In other text, we have seen Meda Suktam with the meaning, and also a saram of Mahabharatam. And also Gurupada Puja Vidhanam, we have studied extensively with some puja practice sessions as well. So this is the syllabus for the Vedanta. When we live a life by moment, we sometimes lose the connection with the past. So when it's given an opportunity like this to look back and see how far we have come, that is such an amazing, shocking experience. My life has been wonderful. Wonderful in a literal sense, full of wonder, like this. If I have to say, my experience so far in the pursuit of moksha is like being curled up in a cradle in mother's arms all the way through. Before I coming here, I had two teachers. This is an interesting story, how I met those two teachers and how I landed here. But we don't have enough time, so I'm not going to go into this. But I was passed on to the next, from one teacher to the next teacher, from next teacher to here, very affectionately. And here, so the mother changes, but the comfort of cradle and arms remains the same. So here, curling up in the new mother's arm, listening to Vedanta Vakya as a lullaby, and also rest of the time I spend a lot of time with grandmother's place, which I was a little bit forced into, but soon turned out to be a great experience. Puja Swamiji's place, Guru Tirtha. So with mother, new mother, and then grandmother of all of the teachers, my experience here studying Vedanta, pursuit of moksha, has been nice, relaxing, full of affections, such a pleasant experience. My second teacher, observing all this development, once said, "You have a special blessing. You must have studied or pursued very hard in a previous life. That's why you are, even though you're a beginner, you're directly hooked into, connected to this systematic study of Vedanta," which I didn't fully understand that time when he said, but became very clear when I studied Bhagavad Gita chapter 6. So my pursuit of Vedanta start with very vague but strong looming feeling of something is not known to me. Even though I didn't have any complaints in life, my life has been quite nice and happy, but something fundamental is not known to me, but I don't know what. So I prayed, and I connected to this sampradaya. And with all the grace of gurus, grace of Ishvara, and all the supporting staff here, and then the co-student, all the donors, all the people who supported our study here, now I feel like everything is known to me. I have a lot more to say. I would like to express my appreciations, gratitude in more words, but I conclude with my salutation to all the teachers and Ishvara. Om Tat Sat.
Now I request Malini ji to come and share her experience and read chanting syllabus.
Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. My humble pranams to all the Parampara and Namaste to all. So first, I would like to share the topics of the chanting class, which were guided by Swamini Amas and later on by Sharanji. So what was covered was Purusha Suktam, Shri Suktam, Narayana Suktam, Medha Suktam, Sambada Suktam, Devi Suktam, Durga Suktam, Bhagya Suktam, Ayusha Suktam, Navagraha Suktam, Dasha Shanti Mantram, Mantra Pushpam, Rudram, Chamakam, Taittiriya Upanishad, Mahanarayana Upanishad, Narayana Upanishad, Lalita Sahasranama Stotram, Vishnu Sahasranama Stotram. And now I'll try to be brief in my expression of gratitude. So I'll just read. To talk about all the things I am grateful for this course in 3 minutes is quite challenging. Yet, when I was thinking about how to communicate, I kept remembering something Sonia, my Brazilian teacher, told me when I joined the course. These courses are like taking one shot of a strong medicine, which will be assimilated throughout a person's life. Like Pujya Swamiji says, Vedanta is a growing clarity. Also, regarding the content of this medicine, I will always carry something conveyed by Swami Sadatmananda Ji, which is, Vedanta is talking about a fact. It's a fact about you. And many of my questionings and fears dissolved in that simple statement. It is a blessing to come to a place where you can simply study, having your mental space completely shaken along with your own self-conclusions. It's such a deep process of transformation that turns upside down our understanding of life itself. And curiously, it is all so familiar at the same time. It is all Ishvara's grace, and I can't express enough the immense gratitude I have for the teaching, for the challenges that invoked emotional maturity and growth, for the guidance and for the revelation of life's true purpose. All of this took place in such a short period of time. So I guess my teacher was completely right in her example. And also, something I used to hear before joining the course, that this is a single opportunity in life. Now I understand its meaning. So, I'd like to offer my humble pranams to Sri Dakshinamurti, Bhagavan Shankaracharya Ji, Pujya Swamiji, Acharya Ji, the entire Parampara, because of which I'm eternally grateful. My thanks also for the fellow sadhakas, all the staff, and even this land which is allowing us to be here so peacefully while the world itself has passed through so much in the recent years. Thank you. Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha.
Now I request Vinay ji to come and share his experience.
Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Just want to make sure this is not a dream for me. So we're all in Jagrat Avastha, not Swapna. 2 years ago, if you had asked me, would I be standing here in front of this group and addressing this audience, there's no way I would have imagined that I would be possibly doing this. And it's too good to be true. It's too good to be real. So then when I talk about reality, so we've all studied Maya. Maya is the power that makes the impossible appear possible. So this is Maya. Another way we can say is, on a serious note, Ishvara's grace. This is completely Ishvara's grace. Without Ishvara's grace, I will never be here. And all this would not be possible, what has happened the last 2 years. 3 years ago, I think in my life, I started turning inward. My life was like what Swamiji taught us in Mundaka Upanishad, Pariksha Lokan. So there is a big disconnect between what I really wanted in life and what I was actually doing. And it's funny that only after I come here and 6 months after into this course, I even realized the root cause of the problem, of why my sufferings were there. So that was an amazing experience that I was going through. And when I turned inward and I found Vedanta, and I discovered Vedanta and Pujya Swamiji almost approximately the same time. This was 3 years ago. And that statement of Pujya Swamiji, all that is here is Ishvara. Everything is given. What is there to be proud of? When I heard this talk, and he said that this is all Vedanta is all about, all that is here is Ishvara. Somewhere, growing up, my mother is here and my mother's sister are here. In my grandparents' house, the only word was Ishvara. So we grew up listening to the word Ishvara for everything. So somewhere I had that upbringing and culture, and I'm thankful for that I was able to appreciate Pujya Swamiji's teaching. And Swami Jagadatmananda ji says you have to have a lot of punyam to come to Vedanta, and you have to have even more punyam to come to this parampara. So I think to sum it up, my past, I have tremendous amount of Ishvara's blessings, grace, and to be here again. So I didn't have much experience with Vedanta before joining this course, so I didn't have much of Adhikari. But one place I had Adhikari was whenever Vedanta talked about, whenever I heard Vedanta a little, which was a little bit, and Vedanta talked about samsara, I was able to really appreciate it. I was able to connect with it directly. I was like, this is bondage. This I understand. And then Vedanta was the only place that was able to explain this to me. And I said, okay, now I understand the problem. And if this knowledge understands my problem, I'm sure there's also a solution here. So I think that Adhikari I had, the only Adhikari I had was I was a proper samsari, and at least I knew what was going on. But on a serious note, again, the other aspect was I also had the desire to know, so the mumukshatvam was there. And last but not the least, Shraddha. This will not work without Shraddha. And when there is a tremendous amount of impact of Shraddha on this pursuit. And this is different from faith. Because Shraddha is you give in, and then over a period of time you start seeing it for yourself. So I came with that Shraddha to the parampara, and also to this great source of knowledge. And then it happened in steps. It happened in stages. So I think the first was resolving the past pain. and guilt and all those emotions that we hold on to and we think that defines us. That happens in stages. It's still happening and it still goes on and it's a journey. But at least Vedanta gave me the tools to handle this. The next aspect, which is the most important one, is surrender to Ishvara and to the Guru Parampara, to the Guru right in front of us, and all the Guru up all the way to see Lord Dakshinamurti. And when that surrender happens, there is a resistance and insistence that we have towards life that starts dropping away. One of my biggest takeaway from this course is Swamiji's emphasis on values. And Pujya Swamiji also has his book on value of values. And that amount of time that we spent, all of us students together on this was tremendous amount of learning. So I think there has been a great value. And Bhagavad Gita teaching, I'll summarize it only in 3-4 points. One was, from a consumer moving to be a contributor. All these are Vyavaharika, but I think it's still very close to my heart. Meditation, I couldn't sit for 2 minutes without moving when I came here after studying chapter 6. I think I'm able to at least see what I'm doing. And then Vishwarupam, truly amazing. What an experience studying Vishwarupam. And then all of this leads to more subtle mind. So that's the journey that I've been through, and it's been amazing. And finally, I think it's a circle. I've come back to Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampada. I've realized that with all this knowledge that I've gained, I need to go back to Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampada, and that's what I'm working on right now. Quick round of thank yous. I'm going to start the Vedantic way of starting from gross and go all the way to subtle. So first, want to thank the ashram. What an amazing ashram. What a fantastic facility. Pujya Swamiji has selected this place. Every rock I've sat on, every tree I've sought shelter under, the peacocks, the deers, the boars, the elephants, and our new Hanuman friend. Just an amazing experience in this ashram. The buildings, SQ, the lecture hall, the mic, the pot, everything without which none of this knowledge would have happened. So I'd just like to say my thank you to every facility here. The next one is the office staff. The office and management have been very supportive. The trust, the seva, the staff, the kitchen staff. We're feeling at home. We're feeling too comfortable, almost like calling this a home, which is also not a good thing. So the next one is Corona. So I think that had a big impact, globally, but it has also affected the ashram in its own way. But what I really love about this culture is I remember March 21st, 2020, when Corona had just started. We started chanting Sri Vaidyanatha Ashtakam in the temple. I think that is the teaching of Pujya Swamiji. When there are things happening that are beyond our control, we pray. And I think that prayer, even today, has really helped us because there has been no discontinuation in classes apart from a couple of weeks or so in the middle, I think 2 years ago. But we've just gone on and life has gone on for us. Corona has not had much of an impact here. Personally, it's helped me a lot because I came here for 3 months, but after Corona came, I never went back home. So, the Samashti Ishvara has always had played a role. Students, I bow down to all the foreign students here. It's not easy being here for this long a period of time and this culture and this environment. So I bow down to all of you people. I applaud the youngsters, at this age to have this vairagyam and to spend so much time in the ashram is fantastic. My respect to you guys and also the respect to the older students who are here. Karan, Taneji, Arunji, whenever I asked you however silly questions, doubts, you were always there to answer my questions. Thank you. Sai Krishnaji, the amount of seva you do to the temple. Nikhileji, seva to Swamiji. And Shiv, just all there for everywhere. So, and everyone in Prayag. And the garden seva team, spent a lot of nice time with you. Thank you for everything. Chanting teachers, I think all the other students have spoken about them, so I will not spend too much time talking about our chanting teachers. We're just so blessed to have you. We call you Amma, so you are like Amma to us. Swami Jagadatananji, friend, philosopher, right? I wouldn't say Vedanta teacher, but a person who instigates Vedanta thinking all the time. So he will always make subtle comments that makes us always think and wonder what to say. I think I'm moving fast here. Just give me 1 more minute. So, Swami Sadatmanandaji, I don't have to say, I don't have any words to express how indebted I am to you. Thank you for hosting us here for these 2.5 years. I hope we have taken care of this ashram as you would have liked us to. And Swamiji, your teaching has been really, really life-changing for me. Thank you very much, Swamiji. I would also like to thank Pujya Swamiji. Pujya Swamiji, I think, I talked to a couple of students. We can feel his presence here in the ashram. His compassion, his friendliness, the atmosphere. I mean, every Swamiji who also comes here, visits the ashram, have the same culture, the same attitude. It's so overwhelming, and we feel his presence here. So once again, I want to give my respect to Pujya Swamiji. Shankaracharya ji, I don't know what to say about this Acharya Shankaracharya ji. For me, his Bhashyam is, I cannot express words to figure out how intelligent can a human, I shouldn't say a human being be, how intelligent can this being be? Is he a philosopher? Is he a theologist? Is he a scientist? Is he a grammarian? Or is he a psychoanalyst? He has everything. I mean, his definitions of dream and his definition of reality, even today, psychology just cannot, cannot keep up with it. And the beauty of our parampara is, generally, if you look to the Western culture, theology, religion that talks about, living morally and things like that, and philosophy are different schools. But in our parampara, the values and the truth has to go together. I think there is a big connect between that, and that's what Shankaracharya has beautifully brought out on how we all have to work on ourselves when the truth is ourselves. I just to wrap up here, I think that's about all my thank yous, and obviously thanks to blessings to prayers to Lord Dakshinamurti, an amazing temple that Pujya Swamiji has made available for us. Visiting the temple every day has just opened my heart up more towards this parampara. I just pulled out my application form to when I applied to come for this course here. So, and the first question was, what is your goal in life and why do you want to study Vedanta? And I saw that I had written 3 points: to understand who I am, to realize the truth, and to live a peaceful life. So I think I can, wholeheartedly say that at least I've started on this journey, and I think I'm on the right path to achieve my goals. I won't go through all the questions, but I'll go through the last question. What is your plan after the course? And my answer was, not too sure now. I think unfortunately this is the only question that I still have not found an answer to, because even now my answer is, I'm not too sure what I'm going to be doing. I think that's the answer for most of you, the students here. But I can just tell you one thing: what is keeping me at peace is what we have gained, this pursuit. My life is going to be around this. It's going to be tied to around this. There's always something to come back to. The sense of fulfillment that I've got from this course, from this knowledge in the last 2 years, has told me that I'm not alone, and I always have this to come back to. And this just makes everything else in life secondary. And when that becomes secondary, the pain and hurt from all of that doesn't mean too much. So we always have this to go back to. Wherever we are, whatever we're doing, this is always there. We just close our eyes and we can think of these 2 years. I think that itself is a big starting point for us. So that gives me a lot of strength. Thank you one and all for everyone. Just one last statement. I say that I came to this ashram thinking I was a human being and I wanted a spiritual experience. Now I'm leaving knowing that I am a spiritual being and I was just having a human experience. Thank you very much.
Now I request Chitra ji to come and share her experience.
Thank you. My namaskarams to one and all here. These 27 months at the Ashvidya Gurukulam have been truly amazing. It has been an amazing experience. Apart from the core course content, that is Vedanta, Sanskrit, and chanting that we have studied, the precious life lessons and values that have been imparted are truly transformational. I'm basically a banker by profession, and in the bank we have what is called the bank's book of instructions, which we refer to every time we have any doubt in banking, the do's and don'ts of banking, which is the last word. And after coming here, I realized that Ishvara, while creating this Srishti, has given us all the do's and don'ts, all the vidhis and pratishedas in the Shastras. Somehow, all of us have not had exposure to it, and I'm happy that at least at this stage in my life, I have been exposed to the Shastras. And I now realize what a lot has been missed. But time gone by is gone by. Actually, life for me has been more or less a bed of roses. I had a good career, I had a nice family.
everything, all the purusharthas in place. But somehow in 2019, April, I was at crossroads, and I was looking for around a fortnight break where I could, stay away from my usual environment, stay in a new environment, and reflect on my life. It was at this point of time that I started Googling, seeing the internet, and I chanced upon this 108-day course. And I thought, okay, let me come here and see. Though my immediate family and friends didn't think I would last very long here, I came. And I feel blessed. I'm saying that I came here by chance. I think it was Lord Dakshinamurti's design for me. I feel blessed that Dakshinamurti has answered my question and placed me under the care of our Acharya ji. Our Acharya ji has an in-depth knowledge of Shastras, his humility personified, and as Kiko ji said, he has been a mother, and he has also been a father to all of us. A taskmaster father, no doubt, but still very loving. And he has imparted precious knowledge of Shastras with so much of dedication. The love and care that has been showered on us during our stay here, I want to thank everybody. I want to thank the administration, our general manager and the ashram administration, the kitchen staff, the maintenance staff, for the great care they exercised to ensure that during the COVID times, we were all well taken care of. Our stay here has been truly very, very comfortable. It is beyond my what I had imagined when I came here. Sanskrit was, to tell you frankly, it was a challenge to me because I found it a little difficult to remember things. But then looking back, I realized that I have made great strides and I've progressed a lot. It has been possible only to the very hard work put in by our Sanskrit teachers who tried their best to make things easy for us. My deepest gratitude to Swami Jagatatmananda ji and Ramachandran ji, who were my Sanskrit teachers. And my gratitude to Swamini Ammas, who taught us the Vedic chantings with extreme patience and perseverance to ensure that we got all the pronunciation and the swaras right. So today, if I'm able to recite Rudram and many of the Suktams, the credit goes entirely to the Swamini Ammas. And I also found the satsangs, and especially the values, the teachings on values imparted during the satsang, very, very useful. For example, Satyam Vacha, speaking the truth. All of us know, we think we know what it means, but an entire class was devoted to this. And I really was wondering, my God, there is so much of depth to this value which we didn't know about. To conclude, I just want to say that this has been a life-changing experience, and delving deeper into Vedanta study and meditation would be the central focus for the rest of my life. And last but not least, I want to pay my respects to Pujya Swamiji, to Shankaracharya, and to the entire Parampara for having created this wonderful infrastructure and this wonderful bit of knowledge that has been imparted to me. Thank you, and thanks to all my class friends, but for whose presence the course would not have been what it was. Thank you.
Now I request Karanji to come and share his experience.
सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. First of all, it's kind of a day that most of us were waiting for, because we have today completed the course. And that is not a small thing. We did not start with 26. We started with many more. But we are blessed. We 26 are blessed because we completed the course. So I like to congratulate all those who have completed the course today. I would like to remember today Pujya Swamiji, who is in the form of the Dakshinamurti himself, because of whose grace this entire ashram is there, where we can come and just study. Today, on this day, when we can show our gratitude for this completion, I would like to start saying a note of thank you to all the 67 subscribers of the online classes. They helped me to become more sensitive to others. I would like to also thank my co-students, without whose presence this course would have been not possible, and the way that I have grown also would not have been possible. But amongst them, since today is the day to share my gratitude towards my teachers, I would like to mention two of them, who were my teachers in a way. One, Maliniji, who taught me yoga every day. And one, Sriparnaji, who taught us how to remember Bhagavad Gita slokas every day. You both have not only taught us something, but you have given us the confidence that yes, we can do something which earlier we were thinking we will not be able to do. So thank you very much for that. I would like to thank both Swamini Ammas and Sharanji for teaching us the chanting with precision, patience, and lots of care. Swami Vishwatmananji, who taught us Sanskrit in such a manner that we not only learned Sanskritam, but we now know how to learn Sanskritam on our own. We can grow further in a manner to see how the whole language is there, how the setup is there, and if anything which was not there, which was not taught during this time due to less availability of time, but still we know how to look into it. I would like to thank Swami Viditatmananji for taking Mandukya Upanishad with Bhashyam, and I would also like to thank Swami Sakshat Krutanandji for giving us the summary of Brihadaranyaka. Swamiji, before this course, I did not have any idea about what Brihadaranyaka is, but after the completion of the summary of Brihadaranyaka, essence of Brihadaranyaka, the conclusion which came to my mind is that yes, Brihadaranyaka is a Upanishad which should be gone through. Thank you very much for that, Swamiji. And I would like to talk something about Acharyas. I think in 2014 or 2015, I saw a movie which was titled On a Quest. It was based on the life of Swami Chinmayananji. And in that movie, in that life history, I remember one particular conversation between Tapovanji Maharaj and Swami Chinmayananji, where Tapovanji Maharaj says to Swami Chinmayananji that the Guru is that, a Guru is that who has got more interest in the growth of the Shishya rather than the likes and dislikes. Today, I am very blessed to be under the guidance of such a Guru. No more words can describe what I have gone through. As my all fellow students have said, what all their experience was, It's a very similar experience for me also. But when I see Swamiji, I feel, yes, I am a Shishya. And I would also like to thank the staff, GM sir, managers, past and present, the entire office staff, the working staff, kitchen staff, without whose love and care, it would have been very difficult to survive not only this 2.5 years, but the time that we went through during the corona also. I would like to mention 2 more names and conclude. Padmaji and Kumarji. They helped us whenever we needed them. And not only did they provide some specific help, they provided us all kinds of help. So thank you very much. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Now we'll have the blessings of the teachers and Acharyas. We start with Swami Viditatmananda ji, who has sent his message and blessings through video.
Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste. I'm very happy to be addressing you this morning when there is a ceremony of the conclusion of the 2 years and a quarter, the course which extended 3 more months. So you had during this time the benefit of studying Vedanta in depth from Swami Sadatmanandji, which I think is a privilege to gain the teaching of a teacher who enjoys that clarity, also who has that scholarship, and therefore who can communicate the text very properly in a manner that creates an understanding in the listeners. So that benefit you've been having since the last 2 years and a quarter, enjoyed that privilege, and you successfully completed that period of time, which also is a bit difficult with Swami Sadatmananda, who is a bit of a demanding teacher, I guess, demands a certain discipline, commitment, etc., as best as I know him, which is good. It's how a teacher should be. That teacher shows both nigraha and anugraha toward the students. Anugraha gives them enough freedom to pursue the spiritual life in a manner which suits them, with all the infrastructure and facility provided in the Gurukulam. And still everybody does pursue it in his or her own way. And a reasonable freedom is provided to do that. Siddham nigraha, and still remaining within the boundaries. So that the freedom that an individual has becomes a blessing and not a curse, doesn't become a license. So that kind of nigraha or control also should be there, which I know Swami Sadatmananda exercises, which is very good. And therefore, I'm happy that you have gone through this test of living in the Gurukulam, following the routine, putting up with whatever comforts, discomforts were there, and maintaining a commitment to study, also study of Sanskrit, chanting, temple, worship, service, seva. It has been a beautiful life, which one can gain only in a Gurukulam like this. And so you had that, which is a great privilege, and congratulations to all of you for that. And now that I departed from here, I checked with Swami Sadatmananda as to what the students are going to do. Well, some of them may go home, some of them may go back to some ashrams, some of them may live the life of brahmacharya, some may go back to life of household where they came from. So which is fine. What is a lifestyle that you adopt, that the choices you have permits? Because everyone may not be able to live the life of brahmacharya, because you already have commitment to life of household or whatever the profession, whatever the demands are there on you. But regardless of what pattern of life you live after leaving this place, I think that two factors are very important. One is conviction, and other is a commitment. I'm sure that over these years of listening to Vedanta again, day in and day out, it is very clear that moksha or unconditional freedom, unconditional happiness is the goal of life. And that self-knowledge is the means to accomplish that goal, because moksha, the goal, is already accomplished, and only thing that separates me from what I want to achieve is ignorance and the false notions born of ignorance. So this conviction that what I am seeking is moksha and nothing else, what I am seeking is the unconditional happiness, unconditional freedom, which is my nature already. If I have not yet achieved it, I am in the process of achieving, I am very clear that only ignorance and false notions born of ignorance is what deprives me of the benefit and enjoyment of that goal. And therefore, my life will be only a process of removing that vyavadhanam, that intervention of ignorance and the notions born of ignorance. This clarity, this conviction must be there. Because more firm the conviction is, more the commitment will be. Then there is a commitment that the only thing that I want is this knowledge, and that knowledge is a result of the kind of life that I live, that kind of thinking that I have, kind of values that I have, kind of studies and contemplations I have, kind of meditations I have. All of this contribute to the achievement of that goal. Therefore, commitment to a life which will be a process of achieving the goal about which I am very clear and committed, that there is a conviction. So conviction about what I am seeking and the process of attaining what I am seeking, and a commitment to that process. Living a way of life which becomes a process of attaining the goal that I am seeking. Meaning that this study continues in one way or the other, as a full-time studying, depending upon how the circumstances are, or a part-time study. Also, so Atma-ichcha vyavasiyetam, as Sadhana Panchakam said, that let there be vyavasaya, a conviction of Atma-ichcha, the desire to know self, desire to attain the self. There is a nijagruha turnam vinirgamyatam. Immediately leave your home, which may or may not be practical for everybody. What is meant by leaving the home is that even while staying in the home also, I can make myself as free from the attachments. There are attachments, fascinations, temptations, and they are the obstacles to my commitment. They become the source of distraction to what I should be doing. And therefore, that conviction will help me every time the temptations come, the distractions come. That commitment will help me to maintain my focus of what my goal is and what the process is. So we have to constantly work depending upon the lifestyle. Therefore, if we choose a lifestyle where the pursuit of knowledge is only pursued, then there are fewer distractions other than what is stored in my mind from the past. But if you live a life of activity, which you may as well, then we should try to make sure that my life becomes life of yoga at the exclusion of bhoga. So life is yoga. Life of activity which is as best, as selfless as I can. Activity which is as much an offering to Ishvara as it is possible. An activity which is essentially or as much as possible free from my personal agenda. So that will be life of yoga, and that is what one should try to make one's life as life of yoga, and as best as possible. Avoid the bhoga, which of course it is there in our nature, the samskara are there of the past. There are temptations, and there can be distractions. And so we can say that there can be bhoga or pleasure of innocent pleasure. And as Lord Krishna says, yuktahara viharasya, innocent pleasure also in the proper measure. And so you may not indulge but perhaps partake of innocent pleasures which are not binding, and also in the moderation. So the yuktatva means moderation. Let there be yuktatva, moderation in the life, awareness or alertness in life, so that I do not get distracted or I do not get controlled by my past samskaras. So all of that also is required, whether you are a householder, whether you are a brahmachari, whether you are a sannyasi. In one measure that this is required. And so my prayers and blessings are that the life that begins for you, the phase that begins for you, becomes a process of yoga, process of attaining the only goal, namely moksha and self-knowledge. The conviction, the commitment, and the process, all of that remain in your life. The attainment of goal is not as important as the process. So our commitment can be the process. And goal is attained is we leave to Ishvara. Karmanyavadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. My commitment is process, and what it means is I do not judge myself based on the result or accomplishment. Then I respect myself enough that I have a commitment to the process and enjoy the process. And the outcome will take care of itself. Leave it to Ishvara. So with that prayer and blessing, I conclude here, wishing you all the best to all of you, and may you enjoy the grace, Ishvara Kripa, Guru Kripa, Shastra Kripa, culminating into Atma Kripa. May you enjoy all this Kripa in your life. May you all enjoy a successful life. Hari Om.
I request Tanay ji to come and honor to Kumar Chaitanya ji. Now I request Swami Sakshat Kritananda ji to honor and bless Padma ji. Now I request Swamini Amma Vedarthananda ji to bless the students. Okay, I request Swamini Amma Vedarthananda ji and Swamini Amma Sharadananda ji to bless the students.
So namaste to everybody. Not heard. Namaste to everybody. So we are happy to be back with you again. So we will chant the traditional conclusion mantra of the Veda on this particular day. Perhaps it will be, that is perhaps is the apt one, I feel. So we are going to chant together and wish you all, okay? First we will start with Sahna Bhavatu. No. We will start with Shanno Mitra, then Veda Manuchacharya, then the end, the same thing again. Second one. Om ॐ शन्नो मित्रश्शं वरुणः शन्नो भवद्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ वेदमनुचाचार्योऽन्ते वासिनमनुषास्ति सत्यं वद धर्मं चर स्वाध्यायान्मा प्रमदः आचार्याय प्रियन्दनमाहृत्य प्रजातन्त्वं मा व्यवच्छेत्सीः सत्यान्न प्रमदितव्यं धर्मान्न प्रमदितव्यं कुशलान्न प्रमदितव्यं भूत्यैन प्रमदितव्यं स्वाध्यायप्रवचनाभ्यान्न प्रमदितव्यं देवपितृकार्याभ्यान्न प्रमदितव्यं मातृदेवो भव पितृदेवो भव आचार्यदेवो भव अतिथिदेवो भव यान्यनवद्यानि कर्माणि तानि सेवितव्यानि नो इतराणि यान्यस्माकं सुचरितानि तानि त्वयोपास्यानि नो इतराणि एके चास्मच्छ्रेयागुंसो ब्राह्मणाः तेषां त्वयासनेन प्रश्वसितव्यं श्रद्धया देयम् अश्रद्धया देयं श्रिया देयं क्रिया देयं भिया देयं संविदा देयम् अत यदि ते कर्म विचिकित्सा वा वृत्तविचिकित्सा वा स्यात् एतत्र ब्राह्मणाः सम्मर्षिणः युक्ता आयुक्ताः अलूक्षा धर्मकामाः स्युः यथा ते तत्र वर्तेरन् तथा तत्र वर्तेताः अथाभ्याख्यातेषु एतत्र ब्राह्मणाः सम्मर्षिणः युक्ता आयुक्ताः अलूक्षा धर्मकामाः स्युः यथा ते तेषु वर्तेरन् तथा तेषु वर्तेथाः एष आदेशः एष उपदेशः एषा वेदोपनिषत् एतदनुशासनम् एवमुपासितव्यम् एवमुचैतदुपास्यं शन्नो मित्रश्शं वरुणः शन्नो भवद्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मावादिशं ऋतमवादिशं सत्यमवादिशं तन्मामावीत् तद्वक्तारमावीत् आवीन्माम् आवीद्वक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. So we wish you all the best in life. And that of course Vedanta will give you, and definitely you'll all be very well.
Yeah, same thing. Whatever Swamiji said, we wish each one of you all the best, and the kripa of all the deities of the ashram, and Guru kripa, and Shastra kripa, and finally Atma kripa. What Swamiji said, that's what I like to say to you. All the best to you, each one of you.
And grace is never less. Grace is never enough. So let all the grace of all deities and the teachers and all your well-wishers be all the time flowing on you, be with you, so that you'll all be. Thank you.
Now I request Shri S.N. Ramachandranji to bless the students.
ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेद विभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. So during the inauguration of the course, it was said, Sanskrit without tears. I hope some of you might be remembering, and possibly you would have achieved. If at all any tears, it would have been more by way of ecstasy rather than any stress. Even if it has been true, then that tears can be looked at as Rudra's expression. That is how the word itself is derived. So all of you, I am sure, would have gone through your crucial phase of your life in these 2 years and 3 months. The enormity of the situation will not be knowing when we are there within the environment. Going back 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, you will realize how the whole 2 years and 3 months played a very crucial role in your whole life, especially when you are seeking moksha as our goal. If you look at it, the structure of the course over here, as envisaged by Pujya Swamiji and brought about by the whole Guru Parampara, it's really a great. Had we had to approach any traditional matha, one has to spend almost 50% of your life in learning this much of what we have learned over here. Even if you want to learn Sanskrit somewhere, you may have to memorize right from the Ashtadhyayi onwards, Amarakosha, all these things you have to first memorize before even they start about Sandhi rules. So you think about it, it will take minimum 5 to 6 years even to start the course. Whereas here, in 2 years, in 3 months, not only the Sanskrit, but also the Prasthanatraya, all have been in a compact manner, it has been given. It will be like what they call in English as a cut chewing. You would have heard the cow, when they graze the field, they just put the fodder into their mouth. This 2 years and 3 months is like that. Many things has gone into your system. It has become imbibed into you. Then the cow later sits leisurely and brings back what it has chewed, what it has taken inside, and chews back and digests the thing. Then it becomes what it has eaten has become ingrained into it. It has become its own totality. So also what has been learned here is only the starting point. That is how we have looked at it. That's what Pujya Swamiji also said when we completed our 3 years course. So this will be a very good blessing for all of you. as Swami Viditatmananda said, 26 different students from different walks of life would be pursuing different lines of your own lifestyle, and whichever the lifestyle you adopt, the base that has been given over here would definitely help you out in keeping you on the path of moksha, and I am sure it will not be too late. I mean, it won't be very long before all of you are blessed with jnana and jnana nishta. Thank you all.
Now I request Swami Jagadatmananda ji to bless the students.
Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. My humble pranams to the lotus feet of Pujya Swamiji. My humble pranams to Acharyas. It's okay. My humble pranams to Pujya Swamiji's lotus feet. My humble pranams to Swami Sakshat Kritananda ji. My humble pranams to Acharya Sri Swami Sadatmananda ji. And my respects to Swaminijis, and my respects to my co-teachers and Sri S.N. Ramchandran ji. My humble pranams to all Swamijis who have visited here, and Swaminis who have visited here, all guests who have visited here to grace this occasion. My humble pranams to Chairman ji and Srimati Sunitama ji. My humble pranams to Sri Raman ji and all beloved students. At the outset, I would like to greet you and congratulate you for all your success. It is very easy to join the course. It is very easy to start the course, and it is very, very difficult task to complete the course, and you have made it. So be happy. I congratulate all of you, and I bless and I wish all success in your future. Samyak jnataha suprayuktaha swarge loke kamaduk bhavati. This is a Mahabhashya quote. Ekaha shabdaha samyak jnataha. Ekaha shabdaha eva. Ekaha shabdaha samyak jnataha. A person who knows only one shabda, samyak, but incomplete, with all completion, he should know. Shastranvitaha, shastravitaha. It should be according to the guidance of the Shastra and some prayuktaha. You should be able to derive the root from the root, the Shabda. You should be able to do all the explanations about the Shabda. If you are able to do this, Vyutpatti, for one Shabda, not many Shabda, Ekaha Shabdaha, one Shabda even you know, Swarge Loke Kamaduk Bhavati. You are invited in Swarga and you will achieve whatever you want. Loke, not only Loke, Lokeshu. Burloka, Boverloka, Swargaloka, Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka, whatever Loka you go, you will be blessed with all demands. Whatever may be your ambitions, it will be fulfilled. What is the requirement? Ekaha shabdaha. You should know one shabda to explain. And I listen from the backbench, I know Ram Shabda. Like that. At least one Shabda if we know, then we are Kamaduk. Whatever we want in life we will get. Imagine, you have studied, our Shivji said he studied in the class 45 Shabdas. How much grace you have. It will not be possible without the grace of Ishvara and the Guru. So you are all blessed to have this wisdom. Our Acharyaji used to say, spirituality is all about self-growth. The whole commitment is to have the self-growth. If it has been achieved today, that is the aim of the course which is fulfilled. Still, you are doubtful, you have to continue your journey in learning. And there is a question, what next, what next? What next? Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam. After that, Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam. After that, Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam. We have only one goal. So, our goal is moksha. Our sadhana to be continued. So, there is no doubt as what next. I have to thank our chairman ji, Sunita Maji, our trustees to support us in a great way to conduct this course without any hindrances. I have to thank all our staff, GM manager and other staffs who cooperated in a great manner along with our administration team to make this course a great success. I have to thank our kitchen staff. I have to thank one and all. See the bell, kitchen staff. As soon as I say, they say yes. And I should thank our Acharyaji in the whole for conducting the course with full of efforts, dedication. We all have taken leaves many days. Students also would have taken and we teachers also will take. But Acharyaji never took even 1 hour rest. Even when I go in the afternoon to see Acharyaji, he will be flipping the pages of some books to take notes. It is a great effort and that is my inspiration, what I learned from our Acharyaji in these 3 years of time. When I was closely moving with Acharyaji, I admired him for this dedication and effort, great efforts. And he did that in a very light manner. Always he will be in concentration. His concentration will, his focus will never deviate from the task of teaching. And this is possible, this completion is possible because of that great effort only. I thank Swamiji for all his dedication and grace on us. And I came here as a student and Acharyaji turned me as a teacher. For that I have to touch his feet and my humble pranams to Acharyaji. I thank Sakshatji to be with us from the beginning and the conclusion of this course as a beacon light. Whenever we have doubts, we used to consult Sakshatji for all difficulties. He guided us and because of that only this course is a success today. In the sky there are infinite number of stars, but how many are named Ashwini, Bharani, Kritika, Rohini, Murugesha? Only 27. Like that, so many students entered this course. You 26 are shining as twinkling stars. I bless all of you. Thank you, one and all. Namaste. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Now I request Acharya Ji, Swami Sadatmananda Ji to bless the students.
सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। यस्य कृपाप्रयत्नाभ्यां स्थानमेतत् यस्य कृपाप्रयत्नाभ्यां स्थानमेतत् सुनिर्मितं तमेव स्वामिनं पूज्यं वन्देऽहं सादरं मुदा। यस्य कृपाकटाक्षाभ्यां शुभं सर्वं प्रवर्तते दयाराशिं दयानन्दं वन्देऽहं सादरं मुदा। My pranams to Pujya Swami here. My pranams to Swami Sakshat Ji, who granted my request very easily and came to bless all of us. My namaskaram to all my co-teachers, all Swamijis and Swaminijis, all devotees, well-wishers, and my dear students. First of all, I express my gratitude to Shri Gnanaganapati, Shri Dakshinamurti, Shri Narbadeshwara, Shri Gnaneshwari, Subramanya Swami, whose special puja is there today. After this program, we can visit the temple. So all the devatas blessed us to complete this course. And we had blessings of Pujya Swamiji in all our efforts. We had blessings of Swami Viditatmananji in the form of teaching us Mandukya Upanishad with Bhashyam. And whenever I requested him, he granted my request. Even for this message of blessings, when I requested, he agreed without any fuss. So I am grateful to him. Swami Sakshat Ji, of course, he has been a source of inspiration and help. And Swami Jagadatmanand Ji has been a great asset to this Gurukulam, great help. He is playing the role of a teacher, role of a trustee, and role of an advisor. Triple role, not double role, triple role is playing, and is playing very well. So please give a big hand, Swami Jagadatmanand Ji. Really helped in so many ways. And of course, I thank Swami Vishwatmanand Ji, who is a great scholar, a great saintly person, highly dispassionate one, with very simple life. He also agreed to teach Sanskrit here, and he did it well. Sharan Ji, with his dynamism, he took care of many course-related activities as a course coordinator, and he also taught Sanskrit and chanting when Swamini Amma had some difficulties coming over here. So I thank him. Swamini Ammas also, they helped us in teaching the chanting and temple activities. And Sri Ramchandran Ji also gave his service as a Sanskrit teacher, and in any other manner he could help us, he did. So I thank him. And all trustees were very cooperative. Management staff also helped me. The present and past manager, our GM, supervisor, our Sri Ramchandran Ji, and all kitchen staff and all other employees, they contributed for the successful completion of the course. So I thank them all. And all the donors and all wishers, well-wishers also, I thank them for their contribution. And I congratulate all the students for completing this course. As Swamiji said, and I am rightly or wrongly well known or notoriously known as a taskmaster. So it must be a difficult job to complete this 2-year course, but you did it. And it shows your commitment to study, your love for Shastra, your mumuksha. Without that, you could not have done that. This completion of the course is not that easy. But all of you did it, so I really congratulate all of you. And even though I have been teaching for 2 years, 2.25, but still there is always something, last message is there. So I will share a few thoughts. First of all, how do I look upon the completion of the course as a student? I have enough reasons to feel blessed that I could complete the course. As a student, our attitude can be of feeling blessed and grateful to the parampara. There is no basis for having any arrogance, but at least definitely there is basis for feeling blessed. And as it is advised in Shastra, Swadhyaya pravachanabhyam na pramaditavyam. Study and teaching, if opportunity arises, teaching. One need not be careless about. So one thing we can have is every day some study of Shastra. We may read some Bhagavad Gita or Upanishad, one chapter of Bhagavad Gita, or small Upanishad, Kaivalya Upanishad, or one chapter of Kathopanishad. We can have some routine that every day we chant. And some study of Shastra, maybe reading the book or listening to the recording. In whatever manner, let us remain in touch with Shastra. The second thing is, let there be some routine of prayers, some japa, and also if possible some meditation, even 15-20 minutes. And if possible, we can have this morning and evening both. Some routine of prayers. Those who are doing Sandhya Vandanam, that also becomes one form of prayers. Or some japa, some chanting the stotra like Dakshinamurti, etc. So some prayerful activities is very useful. And Puja Swamiji, he suggests, when he was giving valedictory talk, he suggests that we can separately write down these shlokas related to these sattva guna values, and we read them repeatedly. That will inspire us. Amanitvam, adambitvam, or adveshta sarva bhutanam, the lakshanas of a wise person, which are the sadhana for a sadhaka. So we can remember them and imbibe them. And one more thing is that based on financial condition, social condition, physical condition, or even emotional condition, we do not make judgment about ourselves. I do not decide who I am based on the feelings the mind has. Feelings are not pramanam to decide who I am. Shastra is a pramanam. So based on the feelings, I don't make judgment about myself. Even there is a tendency to judge immediately. We tell ourselves that the feelings are not pramanam to decide who I am. Shastra is pramanam. Vedanto nama Upanishad pramanam. Otherwise, tendency to judge is very, very natural. Unless we pay attention, it continues. So, without any judgment, we appreciate ourselves as we are. Parmarthika drishtya, aham satchidananda. But at least vyavaharika drishtya, you have reasons to feel, I am blessed. You are really blessed. You have blessings of Acharyas, of this Gurukulam. You have blessings of all the Acharyas of the Parampara. You have been in this place, you have blessing of Pujya Swamiji. And you have earned lot of grace by going to the temple. And therefore, you have all reasons to feel, I am blessed. And there cannot be perfect setup for anybody, anytime. Perfection is not aim. Perfection at Anatma level is not possible, not required. I am Purnaha. That drishti we can bring in. And when that is not possible, at least blessed I am. Dhanyaha aham. Anugrihitaha aham. That drishti we can invoke again and again. By remembering the blessings you have received. As Swamini Amma said, Swami Viditatmanji said, all the Acharyas said. So you are really blessed. And remember this fact. Invoke that fact in your mind. Blessed I am. Another thing is, let there be gratitude to this parampara. You have received a lot, and let there be gratitude to this Guru Parampara, to this institute. If not this institute, any institute which is representing Guru Parampara. And have this thought, what I can do to serve this Parampara from which I have received a lot. I was very happy to read this feedback form of two people who have asked, see, Guru, in the feedback form we have asked, what Gurukulam can do to help you. That we have asked. But two people I was happy to read, they asked what they can do to serve Gurukulam. So let this be the attitude. What I can do, I don't say you have to serve this Gurukulam, any Gurukulam, any Guru Parampara, in any manner, let this be attitude of being a contributor to this Parampara. In whatever manner I can serve this Parampara to continue, to spread, I do. Because the more gratitude we have, more maturity we invoke. Pujya Swamiji used to say, gratitude is a sign of maturity. And deliberately entertaining the attitude of gratitude brings maturity. And it makes you a bigger person. When you contribute, you become a bigger person. So in any manner, you give your time, if you give your resources, you give your knowledge, whatever way you can serve the Guru Parampara, it will be a very growing experience for you. So it is not to oblige the Parampara, but it is to oblige myself. Because more I have this attitude of gratitude and being a devoted contributor, not only contributor, devoted contributor, contribution with devotion, more I grow in my life. And as I said, you are blessed, and remember, my blessings are there with you, the blessings of all Gurus are with you, blessing of Pujya Swamiji and all the Acharyas of Parampara, blessings and grace of Lord Dakshinamurti is there with you, and therefore you will do well in your life. I love you, I care for you, and my blessings are there all the time for you. Namaste.
Now I request Swami Sakshat Kritananda ji to bless the students through his Anugraha Bhashanam.
ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां दयाकरं दयाकारं धान्तं धर्मप्रवर्तकं प्रणमामि दयानन्दं मदाचार्यवरं परम्. When you speak last, it's always problem. Because you want to talk a lot of things and they are already talked. Therefore, you don't have much to speak. But still, I will say something. First of all, congratulations to all of you for having successfully completed the course, successfully surviving 27 months. As you have been hearing, it's not easy. On this occasion, we have to remember one thing. I have visited this place, came along with Swamiji here in 1986, I suppose. This place was a cornfield. The whole area was cornfield. The inhabitants of the place were porcupines. We saw a lot of, these thorns strewn all over the place. In 3 years' time, Swamiji chose this place. He saw the Gurukulam here. We see only cornfield. Pujya Swamiji saw a beautiful Gurukulam here. And I was there when the Gurukulam started. 1990 it started. So the whole place was different. And it's all because of Shantaram and Sunitama's family. Sunitama's mother used to come every day, all the way from Coimbatore. All these coconut trees, all the plantations were done by them. She used to come and see. They get the water every day. Now we are enjoying that. And we are enjoying not only the place, enjoying the purpose for which the place was built. That is, this continuation of this parampara. So many courses have been completed here by Pujya Swamiji, and the same tradition continues, and it will continue. Therefore, we remember their services, remember their dedication in building this place. Premam also is there, Sunitama is there, they know everything. For I pray Lord Dakshinamurti to bless them with a happy, healthy, long life. And you are all blessed to have Swamiji as your Acharya Guru. He is a Shrotriya and who is a Brahmanishta. The Brahmanishtatvam comes from sadhutvam. The Swamiji is embodiment of that sadhutvam. So you are all blessed. And this is a valediction. As Swamini Ammas were chanting the valediction, Shastra had a valediction. That is at the end of Gurukula Vasa. Not the Gurukula of this type. It's a Gurukula of Veda Adhyayana. And at the end of completion of Veda Adhyayana, the students complete their Brahmacharya ashrama. And thereafter, they have to enter the next ashrama, that is Grihastha ashrama. There, Veda gives a command. Acharyaya priyam dhanamahritya prajatantum ma vyavachhetsi. There are other advices are there. Satyam vada, dharmam chara, swadhyayan ma pramadaha. Other advices are there. Those advices are valid even for this valediction. But prajatantum ma vyavachhetsi, that is not valid now. Because all of you have already done enough purushartha. Those who are brahmacharis and brahmacharinis. Therefore, what we have to do, if we don't have to enter into Grihastha ashrama at all, then what we have to do? One has to share this knowledge, communicate this knowledge to others. There are many reasons why we should communicate. I will say a few reasons and say what is the main reason. These reasons become secondary or may not be there. When we finish the course and go, we want to propagate Vedanta. Because this is the wisdom that is not available anywhere else. Only in Bharatavarsha it is there. And in Bharatavarsha also it is not known because it is held as a secret wisdom. Now I come to know I have to propagate this wisdom. I want to change the whole humanity because they are suffering for no reason. I want to change them. Yeah, it is a good reason. One can do that. Or I can teach to pay back my rinam. There is a rinam debt. I got this wisdom, I am indebted to the tradition. How do I pay back the rinam? By continuing the tradition. When will the tradition get continued? When I hand over the wisdom. Therefore, in order to pay back the rinam, I can teach. Or satkara mana pujartam. Because when you teach, you get pada puja. You get name and fame. He is a great teacher. Name and fame spreads all over. Therefore, satkara mana pujartam. That is also no problem. One can have that. It can begin like that. Or one can teach for the love of teaching. I love teaching, therefore I teach. One more reason can be, teaching is a method to survive. It is a method to survive. Because when you teach, you have got students. You have few students around you. Therefore, when they discover the teacher in you, they will take care of you. Therefore, you don't have any worries about future. Survival. That is also fine. But the main reason is I teach for my own clarity. When you teach, what happens? Because teach one student is enough. Two students are enough. A few students are enough. When you teach, what happens? Pairs of eyes are looking at you. When the pairs of eyes are looking at you, your mind undergoes a change. You can't be casual. You have to be clear. You have to be logical. You have to be consistent and coherent. If those eyes are not there, I won't work for this clarity, consistency, logic in the teaching. Therefore, your mind undergoes a change when you are teaching. In that change of mind, you discover more and more. Therefore, teaching becomes essential. And that is what is expected also. Tachintanam, tatkathanam, anyonyam, tat prabodhanam, etadeka paratvam cha, brahmabhyasam vidur buddha. Vidyaranya Swami says in the 7th chapter, Tachintanam, because this thing I have to accomplish in life. Therefore, Tachintanam, Tat Kathanam, Chintanam, Kathanam, Anyonyam Tat Prabodhanam. This is called Brahmabhyasa. Therefore, teaching is one method of fulfilling this Tachintanam, Tat Kathanam that brings clarity in one's thinking. And also it is a Nitidhyasanam. Teaching is you dwell upon the Vastu. When you have to be clear, then you have to dwell upon the Vastu. Therefore, that becomes Nididhyasanam. It takes care of all the obstacles in the gain of Jivanmukti. Therefore, that becomes very important. One may say, I am not interested in teaching. No, one must teach. Because we all know, this is coming from experience, how teaching is very useful. When you do Swadhyaya, you don't get that opportunity. When you listen, you don't get that opportunity. When you teach, you get that opportunity. Every teacher will vouchsafe this. Therefore, if I don't have that clarity, how will I teach? Clarity you will gain by teaching. If I begin teaching after getting clarity, that will not be in this Janma. You get clarity only by teaching. As Swamiji said, no, I have this feeling, sense of isolation, sense of non-approval by others who count in my life. There's all these various feelings are there. When these feelings are there, then I conclude. The tendency to conclude is, I don't know. Having studied for 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, one does not give up the tendency to conclude, I don't know Brahman. Why I don't know Brahman? Because this kind of feelings are coming in my mind. When I have the knowledge, how can these feelings be there? This is an argument. How can these feelings be there if I have the clarity of knowledge? Therefore, I conclude what? I don't know. Therefore, these feelings are not pramana. Feelings are not pramana-janyam. feelings are mithya. All the feelings you have to recognize that. I don't conclude, I don't know, based on feelings. It is cognitive. The truth is cognitive. Feelings come and go. If it is pramajanyam, it will not go. You say that yesterday I felt like that. What about today? No, that feeling is not there. That means that feeling is what? Feeling comes and goes. What comes and goes is mithya. So I don't fall for the feelings. Therefore I don't conclude, I do not know. I know all the Shravanam that has taken place are inside. I don't allow feelings to take over that. Therefore one has to be alert to this tendency to conclude. Therefore one has to own up the teaching. What I have learnt is with me. And when I begin to share that, you will see that all of them are surfacing. When you teach, they surface. When you don't teach, you don't know what is there inside. Therefore, you think that I don't know. They will not be there all the time, no floating in the mind. When will they come to surface? When you invoke the teacher in you. Therefore, teaching is very important. And Pujya Swamiji has talked a lot about various things that you have to look into when you teach. Therefore, you can listen to Pujya Swamiji, what he has said in the various valedictions. They are all very, very useful. Therefore, all those things I take into account and then teach. Then teaching will take care. It will give whatever clarity it has to give. And that is Jivan Mukti. For knowledge is useless unless it ends in Jivan Mukti. I have knowledge, but I see I am samsari. That is not knowledge. Knowledge has to give rise to phalam. Jnana phalam it has to give rise to. So that will come by teaching. So all of you are highly blessed. All of them talked about the blessing. Therefore, that blessings are there with you because one blessing you have got. All the blessings are there because one blessing that we have, all of you. What is that blessing? Guru Kripa. If Guru Kripa is there, all the blessings will come. For few notes on certain points. Swamiji was telling, Swami Jagadatmananda was telling, one word you have to know. No? Not Rama Shabda, not Hari Shabda, Guru Shabda. What word you have to know? Brahman. Brahman also is a word. Therefore, when you know Brahman, when you understand all the implications of the word Brahman, then not only you will get the Sukha that is in Swarga Loka, you will discover that you are the Ananda that everybody gets in Swarga Loka. Therefore, you are that Ananda. That is what you will discover. And Swamiji said only 26 stars. I don't see 26. I see 27. Because how many stars are there? 27. Therefore, he has to include himself also in 26. Therefore, you have got all 27 stars are there, complete. Therefore, this course is successful. I pray, Lord and Pujya Swamiji, to bless all of you with a successful pursuit of this knowledge. Om.
Now we have a program of felicitating students on their completion of the course. Swami Sakshat Kritananda ji will offer a shawl, Swami Sadatmananda ji will offer a memento, and Swami Jagadatmananda ji will offer a set of books. I'll read out the names and request the students to come accordingly. Karanji, Tanayji, Karanji, Tanayji, Tanayji, Arunji, Kekoji, Sumanaji, Sai Krishna ji, Bala Kumari ji, Nikhilesh ji, Chitra Amma, Lilian ji, Mariana ji. Rama Naidu ji. Surendran ji. अवंतिका जी. Ushama. मालिनी जी. अनुराधा जी. उदय भानु जी. स्वामी समर्पणानंद जी. Hema Naidu ji. Amy ji. अरुण जी, अरुण जी, मारिया जी का नाम नहीं है? मारिया जी, मारिया जी का नाम नहीं है? मारिया जी, मारिया जी। ठीक है। नाम ले लीजिए। वर्णा जी। मारिया जी। विनय जी। विनय, विनय। रॉड्रिगो जी। Shriparna and Shivji. Now I request Tanay ji to come and honor Kumar Chaitanya ji. I request Swami Sakshat Kritananda ji to honor Kumar Chaitanya ji. Now I request Shri Arunji to give vote of thanks.
Dhanyah Vayam. On behalf of all students, I am presenting the vote of thanks. Firstly, we are grateful for Lord Medha Dakshinamurti and other Sthana Devata. We offer gratitude towards them for having given us opportunity to learn this Vidya. First of all, we remember Pujya Swami Dayananda Saraswati ji with gratitude. We thank Sakshat Kritananda ji to have graced the occasion and give his Anugraha Bhashyam. We thank Swami Viditatmananda ji to have given us his blessings through his message and speech. We thank our Acharya ji for his commitment towards teaching and revealing Paripurnananda Aham. So, I am limitless. We are blessed, and if there is an opportunity, I would want to continue studying under his guidance. We thank Swami Vishwatmananda ji for giving us Sanskrit knowledge and revealing how to study the entire Ashtadhyayi. We thank Swami Jagadatmananda ji for giving us knowledge about astrology, Indian culture, and also teaching Sanskrit to students of level 1. We thank Swamini Vedarthananda ji and Sharadananda ji for teaching us chanting and sharing their experiences about chanting. We thank Ramachandran ji for having taught Sanskrit to students of level 2. We thank Sharan ji for teaching us chanting and also teaching level 2 students Sanskrit. We thank Kumar ji, who is the Hanuman ji of this ashram, for guiding us and also taking some chanting classes. We thank the trustees and chairperson for providing us the ashram environment, which is very, very important for doing Shravanam and also Mananam. We thank all office staff for their support, especially when we had issue. We registered and it was fixed on time. And they also helped us with a lot of administrative work. And a special mention also to Ramuji, who used to get what we require from the city every week, twice a week. We thank the temple priests for doing puja day in and day out. And as Swamiji, Acharya ji mentioned, this gives us a lot of grace, which will continue in the form of our continued study and contemplation. We thank all kitchen staff for giving us tasty and nourishing food to keep us going, remembering what was said in Chandogya Upanishad about Shodasha Kala Purushaha. So our mind will not work if we do not have enough nourished food. So we thank all the worker staff to help us keep the vicinity clean and help us maintain our lecture hall and rooms. Last but not the least, I thank all the fellow students without whom the learning would be incomplete for each one of us. So I would request all the students to thank each of them. Thank you.
Now we'll conclude the function with the closing prayers. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amrutangamaya Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Now we have some puja going on in Murugan temple. It will be nice if you could visit the temple now. Thank you. All the students can come near Swamiji for group photo.
Students who want individual photographs with Acharya ji can have them right now.